We prevent excavation damage together. Take your responsibility. The Dutch underground is full of cables and pipelines. Damage to cables and pipelines affect all of us. Costs money and can have adverse consequences for people and the environment. Prevention of excavation damage is only possible through close collaboration in the chain. Everyone has a share in this, so take your responsibility. For if you do not, the entire chain loses out. We have a shared statutory responsibility to perform excavations with care. The Dutch Underground Networks Information Exchange Act, WIBON, provides that we must issue orders with care, that we must exchange information on cables and pipelines, and that we must perform excavations with due care. How excavations should be performed with due care has been developed in the new CROW 500 guidelines. These describe what you should do in each phase in order to avoid excavation damage. That already begins in the initiation phase. The best chance of avoiding excavation damage lies in the initiation phase. In this phase, the initiator ensures that it is possible to excavate with care and that enough time and budget is made available to be able to follow the process steps in the CRO 500 guidelines. In the research phase, the initiator conducts a risk inventory. This forms the basis for a successful final result. The initiator can define the effect on cables and pipelines on the basis of an orientation request to the land registry, among other things. In the event of any unclear points, the initiator can contact the relevant network operator. In the design phase, the designer localizes the actual position of cables and pipelines. The risk inventory is compared with the situation in practice and the management measures for the excavation activities are determined. This plan should contain management measures per excavation activity on the basis of field surveys, localized cables and pipelines shown in a cable and pipeline drawing. Overview of agreements reached with network operators. This measures plan forms the basis for the implementation by the excavator. Only on the basis of this plan can the excavation company perform the work in a timely manner, with due care, in order to achieve a successful final result. In the work preparation phase, the excavator starts work with a measures plan. An excavation notice is sent to the land registry and working instructions are prepared for the excavation team. In this way, the excavation company ensures a good start to careful excavation under its supervision. In the implementing phase, the excavation company instructs all the operative staff. It ensures that the work is performed in accordance with the instructions so that excavation damage is avoided. On delivery or in the event of an emergency, the initiator conducts an evaluation. In this way, we continue to learn from each other throughout the chain. In each phase, if there are any unclear points regarding the location and/or the risks of cables and pipelines, contact the relevant network operator. Ultimately, the entire chain is responsible for the result, so take your responsibility too. Naturally, you comply with the WIBON and follow the guidelines. But truly taking responsibility means that you check whether you have the right information available and whether your client took its responsibility in the preceding phase. The great advantage of this new working method is that the initiator client gains a far better oversight of the project. It no longer faces the risk of work being brought to a standstill due to cables and pipelines. Help each other by calling each other to account if matters are not in order. For we prevent excavation damage together. Not taking part is not an option. Take your responsibility now. Go to the action page at www.klo.nu.